I'm Jean Porcello-Giusto. I'm the owner, manager, operator of Porcello Law Offices here in Salem. We're a family-owned law firm. We started back in the late 80s or early 80s with my dad. I work with my brother, who's been a lawyer longer than I have. He's been practicing 36 years. I've been practicing 32 years. We do litigation here. We do prenups, postnups, child custody, child support. Anything having to do with family law, we do that type of work here. So, one of the things that I started doing about a year and a half ago was working with a SMB team for coaching. And one of the people that is there, Dan Bryant, suggested that we would be able to grow our firm if we used a 24/7 answering service. So we started looking into that. Dan suggested that we speak to Smith AI, and we interviewed a couple of other companies, but I liked the personal touch of Smith AI, and they take all of our calls. So once we went through the investigation and decided Smith AI was the company, we as soon as we signed up, we were getting inundated with calls on nights and weekends, and I was texting people back from the calls that were coming in, and they qualify them. They ask them questions based on scripts having to do with family law and estate planning. So since day one, they've done a great job. We're very pleased with them. And we just added Calendly to it. So that is another thing that Dan Bryant from SMB told us, hey, why don't you think about doing this? And I'm really grateful to him for, turning me on to Smith AI. And I'm really very pleased with the quality of the service that Smith AI provides. We affectionately call you Smitty. Um, so Smitty sent us this lead. So we're not losing leads. I think the whole overall thing has been very helpful to the firm. We've gotten 12 new cases since we started, which is amazing because we would have lost those people because they would have called on a night or a weekend. We wouldn't have been able to book the appointment. We do pride ourselves on getting right back to people, but we were thrilled that we got that much growth out of it. And they've just been marvelous. Pre-Smith AI, we would get phone calls that would come into the office and be recorded for us to answer, like on Monday morning. Or we would get inquiries through our website. Now, when they call after hours, and that's where we've seen the best use of Smith AI. Now, when they call, someone immediately answers the phone for them. Someone talks to them, which is better than having, and I know Smith AI offers both, but for us, for the quality and the service level that we provide, I wanted to go with a live person. So we wanted someone to answer the phone at night, with a live person. And that has really helped us at night and on the weekends and on holiday weekends. We had a holiday weekend where someone called in at like 7:58 in the morning, and they picked up on the call, they gave me the information, they sent the text message, which was like really changes a lot of things. I'm able to immediately look at my phone. I hear my phone ding for the Smith AI. I look down, I see the name, I see the phone number, I see the email address, I see what the problem is. And then I was able to like call that person back immediately on a holiday weekend where they would have been really like stressed out that they tried to call a lawyer and they needed someone for Monday morning and it was an emergency situation. And honestly, that person was so grateful that I was able to immediately connect with them because if I hadn't seen, if we didn't have Smith AI answering the call and taking the information and sending me the immediate text message and then the email portion afterwards, great as well, that person would have gone all weekend long with no lawyer, and Monday morning would have been in court, in a terrible situation. And so I felt like Smithy AI helped us to help them I was able to resolve the whole problem by like 9:30 in the morning. I think the text part, like, I'm immediately like aware of someone's called in, what time of night it is. It's usually most of our calls are coming in after 6:30 at night, and they're coming in, early in the morning as well, like before we open at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we're capturing anyone after hours that needs our help or needs to leave a message for an attorney. And many new clients, they don't always call between 9 and 5, you know, and I've just felt like having the live person answer and then send the message directly and then send the email. I can then forward the email to one of my other associates and say, I think you need to call this person back right away, or this can wait till Monday, but you should be aware of it. It's been very helpful to us, very, very helpful. I'm really impressed, and it takes a lot to impress me. So in the divorce, when someone calls for a divorce, they ask them. The other thing that's very important to us is that we do conflict checks. So they ask the other person's name so that when they take the call, before we call them, we have to do that conflict check ethically. So that's a big part of it. How many children, where are the parties located? We're located in Essex County, Massachusetts. We sit in Salem, Massachusetts, which is where the court sits. So we're not going to be able to take a Cape Cod, Massachusetts case or a Worcester, Massachusetts case. It's just too far for us. So Smith qualifies them. Where are you calling from? Where is the case located? Where are you living now? Things like that. They do the same thing with the estate planning that we have an estate section that when they answer, they're able to sort through the call. And we don't always get estate planning cases or divorce cases. We sometimes get criminal calls. We don't do criminal work. So Smith like qualifies them out. Oh, you're looking for a criminal attorney? Well, thank you for calling. And, they usually sign them off with saying, thanks for your call, but Porcello Law Offices doesn't handle that type of matter. So we don't waste time calling someone back that we can't help anyways. The thing that I like most about the qualification is you see where is the caller calling from, who is on the other side, so we can do that conflict check. What are they talking about as far as what is the problem that we can help them with? And then immediately we can get in touch with them. And now with Calendly, the appointment is already set up. So we're not like getting the lead, calling them back, trying to do the first part of the intake, the initial intake for the consultation. By the time they get to us, everything's ready to go. And it's just one conversation as opposed to multiple conversations. So it's time saving on our end. So far, we haven't like had any problems, so I can't like say this is a negative. All I can say is this has been a positive experience for us. I get a report at the end of the day, how many calls came in. We immediately started with a smaller package, but realized I didn't think we would get that many calls at night. I didn't think we'd get that many calls on the weekends, and so we had to like within first month to 6 weeks, we had to get a bigger package. And we've noticed that we've consistently gone over with our 50 call package because we are getting those calls. So that's a great thing. To say that since we started, I think we started in September or late August, mid-August, we've gotten 12 cases. That's 4 cases a month. Like we wouldn't have got those cases unless Smith had answered the phone. And, they do a great job. And our clients tell us that as well. So many days we're very busy here and we can't get to the phone. We have ours designated to, answer at the third call. So if one of us is on the phone and we can't get to it, and usually there's 4 or 5 people here, that means we're all on the phone and it rings and we can't hang up fast enough with someone else. Smith picks up for us, and then we call the client back, and they go, "Oh yeah, we just talked to your receptionist. My accountant thought I had hired a new person." He's like, "Who's this new person you hired?" I'm like, "We didn't hire any new people." He's like, "They didn't give me their social security information." I'm like, I go, "Bill, that's our live person answering the phone." So that was one of the funniest reactions we had was the accountant called and said, "Who's this new person? You haven't sent them to me for their W-2 information." And I was like, "No, no." So that was good. And he liked them. I have recommended them to not only law firms, but people that I'm in business groups with, because I think that just about anybody nowadays can get the artificial intelligence answering service, or you can get an answering service. I know other firms have used that. They're live people, but they're terrible when it comes to taking information down. We've been very happy, and I posted on Facebook, which reaches millions, I think, that you guys are the greatest because you make our life so much easier. It's very professional. It's something that I wouldn't want to have someone representing my firm, and that's what Smith AI does. They represent our firm, and they do a very professional job. They take the information that we need, very detailed, and we're able to take that information and then, do our consultation and work with the people that need our help. It was a smooth transition. In other words, I haven't had to call and say, "Could you please not do this? Could you please do that?" It seemed like all I had to do was sign up, and all I have to do every month is pay my bill. And that to me, with the practice that we have six lawyers and we have four or five other people as paralegals and law clerks, that makes it easy on me because people aren't coming to me complaining, "Oh, they didn't do this or didn't." Sometimes you wonder, "Gee, why is it so easy?" But it has like really been easy for us to use Smith AI, and it's been beneficial to building our business.